Alright, hey, what's up, guys? This is Weapon. Just bringing you some Destiny footage real quick. I did a video for this, and it turned out to be almost a half an hour, and that was just unacceptable to me. So, um, I'm doing it over. It's gonna be really quick. I'm trying to keep it at least under 10 minutes, and I'm just gonna show the things that I think are the best parts about it. I'm gonna be probably talking through some of the story parts just because, in order for me to get the information as quickly as possible, I can't wait for that. So, sorry about that if you care. But basically, the only two things I'm going to be going over are the story mode mission aspects, and then the overworld, which is what I call it right now because I have no idea what else to call it. But that's what we're gonna do. The first thing that I'm gonna do, though, is show you the tower. The reason why is because I think that it's really the central hub of everything. Hopefully there'll be some people on the server. For some reason there was like no one around when I did my first video, so I was a little bit disappointing. You know, you can't really get that MMO feel without really having the other players around. And make no mistake, this is as MMO, I think, as a console has ever seen. So this will be my first MMO first person shooter, and I don't even know if there's actually ever been another one before. So it's a cool concept. I definitely underestimated it. I'll be the first to admit it. But alright, so this is the hub, finally. I don't know what happened the first time, but this is all of the people, whatever, acting a fool. There are different things here that you can pick up, which I'll show you as time goes on. But this is where you get your quests. You can get bounties for different things. And I'm actually turning in one of my bounties for headshots. And it's where you buy your items and such and so forth. Presumably this is also where you would meet up with your party members, although you can meet them anywhere else, so on the map. Just about, anyway, as far as I know. Just checking out to see what kind of... Okay, I didn't realize I had a new scout rifle. Alright. So, the first thing that I'm gonna do is head out and we'll do a story mission. Should I pick up anything, or, and I will show the menus again and probably go into a couple things, but I'm going to kind of avoid doing that right now because I don't have any reason to do it, and I don't want, like I said, this to take longer than it needs to. So we're going to do this on easy for the sake of time, although I breeze through normal at this point, having maxed out, you know, what you can get on the beta, and continue to get other class skills.
There's so little left out here. We were lucky to even find this ship. A Guardian can't do much to protect the city with that one. But it needs a warp drive if we ever hope to fight beyond Earth. And that Cosmodrome is the only place I know where we might still find one. We survived the Fallen once. We can do it again.
The way they give exposition in this game is also very well done. It's mostly interchangeably between being on the ground doing the story and actually in cutscenes, so you feel very
the Guardian
immersed.
ship was recently shot down here. If the Fallen haven't gotten to it, there might be parts we can salvage.
Alright, now I'll use my ghost here to find my next target. Hop on my vehicle. Very convenient. You can't use it everywhere, but, you know, most places. So, and it's better than actually having to find someone or find a vehicle. So, and this is something that I was talking about in my previous video that you really didn't get to see. Even if you're playing your game, you know, other people who are playing the game can just come up and be a part of your story mode campaign, which is awesome.
Ship's avionics are completely catatonic, but I can call their last transmission.
People can just roll up and help you if they want to. He's probably wondering why I'm doing this mission at level 8, but meh.
They managed to restore an information hub here, down in the tunnels below. We should check it out.
So since he's at the same point as me, I'll more than likely see him in every part of the game that I go to, unless he takes a side, you know, step or something. Now, if I weren't doing this video and I were feeling a bit, you know, charitable, I might just hang out with him and stick around with him because he's level 2 and I'm level 8. But, like I said, speedrun, so I'm trying to get through this as quickly as possible. But he'll be fine because by the time he catches up to me, I'll probably have cleared out mostly everything.
Map of the entire area.
The bad thing about speedruns is it makes you sloppy, but
What we really need to find is a warp drive, so we
I
can
doubt
jump
I'm
to
gonna
any
die.
planet or moon. Our only hope is where we found our ship. We have to go back.
so as you can see, he's still upstairs. We're not a part of the same party, so it doesn't matter. And more importantly, you know, he can benefit from not, you know, having me around, but he doesn't. If he wants to continue to try to level up, he can do that on his own without me getting in the way.
Scanning for the warp drive. Bad news. It's already in fallen hands. I hope you're ready for this.
Okay, I'm entering into a darkness zone, which is basically like a dungeon if you were talking about a more traditional MMO. And if I die here, unless I had somebody in my party or like that other guy that I was playing with, I will not be able to respawn in this area and I'll have to start the whole thing over. So that could be a problem if it were, but it's not. The game also incorporates raids, which there's one in later levels that is super hard and it takes a long time even with 3 people who know what they're doing and are properly equipped. So, but it's fun. Just like you would expect, I mean. The way that they've incorporated the 2 styles of games into one, like seamlessly, is just... it's impressive. It's very impressive. Now, while every class has the same kind of, or I should say the same categories of things, such as mobility moves and supers, etc., they're all very unique. And one thing that every character has is a super, and that super is different for everyone. The Hunter's super allows him for a limited amount of time to deal extraordinary amounts of damage. And although I haven't played the other characters yet, I gravitated towards the Hunter because he seemed to be the most unorthodox kind of character. You know, you've got the Titan, who is basically your tank, and you got the, what was it? I can't remember what it was called, Sorcerer or something like that. But who is your ranged DPS, and the Hunter is just, you know, this medium level kind of assassin, I guess is the best way to describe him, who can either get in close and do, you know, great deals of melee damage, or can rely on doing crit damage in order to power his abilities, his or her abilities. So I like them. I usually get a lot more precision kills than that. The rush. Okay, so we're through that, and I'm starting to realize that actually it's difficult even to try to keep this video under 10 minutes, because just doing one story mission, and that's probably the shortest one, takes at least that. Plus, this part is unskippable. So, I guess I'll take this time out to talk about the more RPG side of inventory and everything. Basically, you've got your class, and then obviously there are 2 slots for subclass, as you can see here.
There was a time
you're able to
when we were much more powerful.
Upgrade and unlock abilities. For example, the swarm grenade I already have unlocked. In some cases you would have to swap one out for another. In other cases they just upgrade something that already exists. So this one is a good example of something that upgrades. And each class and its subclass determines basically the way that you use the character and what they're good at, and that's even within the class that you choose, how you can tailor gameplay to, you know, be the way that you want it to be, and what's more important to you.
What happened to it?
Then of course you've got your equipment, which you can
centuries ago
swap in and out almost at any time. I think literally at any time. And
I could tell you of the power.
You know, it all does different things. Obviously, they give you defense, but they can also increase your stats. Each stat basically corresponds to one of your ability. Your strength is for your knife or your melee. Your discipline is for your grenade, and your intellect is for your super. So you can increase those stats in order to have the cooldown on each of those things
the darkness
increase,
is coming back.
So you don't have to wait as long.
We will not survive it this time.
And then there are 3 different types of weapons. You got your primary, your special, and your heavy. They have to be unlocked, but once you unlock them, you can swap them in and out. Amongst the primary weapons, you've got a various amount of types, ranging from pistols, marksman rifles, like they're called in Call of Duty, which is a mix between, I guess, assault rifles and sniper rifles, like the scout rifle I like to use. A pulse rifle, which is, you know, I guess an energy submachine gun, I guess is the best way I could describe it. And just really very diverse types of weapons just in your primary weapon slot. And then you've got your special weapons, shotguns, this fusion rifle, which does huge amounts of damage if you can get the accuracy correct on it. And then of course your heavy weapons, rocket launchers, and very heavy machine gun, stuff like that. So yeah, that's basically how that works. And, you just try to get your levels up, get your skills, and loot. So before we go to the tower, the last place that I'll go is to the overworld, like I call it, the Cosmodrome. And that is where I guess you can just do random missions and interact with the terrain without having any story. I guess it's more, I don't know, it's difficult to describe, but it's more free roaming than the story areas. And while the story areas, you can free roam there as well if you decide to, there isn't as much there for you. And you know, it's actually pretty dangerous to try to free roam.
Where to?
In the story areas, because you can end up, you know, in places that you definitely don't want to end up. So here, I won't say it's leveled, it kind of is, but you know where to go at what levels, so you're not in really any danger. And basically what you do here is you bring up your ghost and you can go to any beacon, and the beacons will give you missions, or if you want you could just hang out and snipe some folks. Fun. But yeah, you want to be careful doing that. And you can get a mission. Now if I can, there we go. So, go ahead and pick up a mission.
We have long-range scans of an anomaly in this location. The future war calls will pay for confirmation.
Alright, now that I've received my mission, again, it's weird, no one's around. This place usually, especially, has lots of people because it's open world, but we'll just head out to fulfill the mission. See, that's more the style that I like to play. I like to try to go for headshots. They do much more damage. And as you would expect, the game is, your character is customizable. It's kind of limited right now, but I would expect that once the full version comes out, there'll be lots more customizability choices. One of the reasons why I like to go for headshots, besides the fact that it's awesome, is because it reduces the cooldown for my super, and that can help me out a lot. Loot. And I like that they don't overwhelm you with loot in this game. You get it fairly regularly, but it's not like Borderlands where you get 50 pieces of equipment every time you do a mission or every time you leave the hub, because it makes the equipment seem meaningless. And I feel whenever I get something, it happens just enough that I'm grateful once I see it. Even if it isn't something that's better than what I've got, it's not so consistent. So That's another good thing. This game does a lot of things right, in my opinion. And I really didn't think I was gonna like it, but I was wrong, and I'm actually glad that I was wrong. Stealth Hunter. And I just unlocked an upgrade. If this video ends up being a half an hour again, I'm sorry, there's just nothing I can do about it at this point. I've tried to breeze through this as quickly as I can, and it's just not happening. Okay, this is another thing. If I can get there, I can revive that guy, but I was not fast enough. So now I'm kind of stuck in his position, which is not good, because these guys are leveled to me, and I went in kind of haphazardly. So that's another cool thing that I like, the fact that you can, you know, even if you're not in a party with anyone, and that's why I say this has got a very MMO feel to it, you can just roll up and help out anybody, you know, join any party, basically at any time that you want. That's not even including people that you can bring into the game with you, which you can. See, he's using a hand cannon, which is what I used to use, and it's a very powerful weapon, but it just doesn't have a good range on it. All right, let's finish this up. That Papa Bear guy died. I feel bad. I would have stayed. Alright, and we are at probably the end of our mission here. If I can ever get up on this thing. There we go.
We got it.
Indeed we did. Alright. And that would basically be it. Now there are different types of missions that you can get in this overworld area, just depending on the icons and you know, a variety of other things. But once you finish a mission, I could go back and try to find Papa Bear and help him out if I wanted to, or I could go and find another mission and basically just, you know, keep going. Oh my gosh, a wizard. I do not feel like dealing with him right now. Do I? Well, actually, I forgot. That move is so OP. Gosh. Alright, well, anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. Sorry about that mic issue I just had there. And I hope you enjoyed Destiny, and I hope you liked it as much as I did. I'll see you next time.